Alright, so, session 4. Darren's already thrown me for a curve. I was all prepped and ready to take him through the docks, and I've got to switch gears on me. Okay, so, um, Darian, I guess if you didn't leave them, then are you still at the Red Keep, or what did you do instead of going to the docks?
Well, I thought everyone was like going to sleep for the night, so I decided to just stay there
Okay,
at the
yeah.
Red Keep.
Okay, so they woke up and they left, and okay, we'll just pretend like you're with them then. I'm not going to try to figure out a story unless you want to try to role play that. So let's assume you're back with them at the academy. You okay with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right. So you guys are still at the academy. Roland's kind of wrapped up his little experimentation with his newfound spell and everything. Teagid and Storm headed out north for you're not really sure why, but they didn't stick around. But they left while you guys were still studying. And Belthar is heading back to the barracks as well. He's not with you guys tonight. So let's quickly kind of bring in Ruby here. During the course of you guys' investigation, you guys would have met Ruby Firegaze. She's a part-time professor here at the academy, and she probably would have been helping you guys out doing some research. As a matter of fact, Ruby was the last one to see Warak. If you guys remember, Warak was kind of freaking out about these spiders and stuff like that. So, Ruby, you got a little information on what happened to Warak? Ruby, are you there?
Oh, I keep forgetting I have to push the talk key. My bad.
Okay, no problem.
He was he was asking me. I'm getting echo here. I don't know whose echo that is, but all right, I'll go again. He was asking me, is there like a setting to turn off this echo? Because I really am getting like this crazy echo.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it. Are you guys hearing it?
Is it like
Yeah,
a
I'm hearing it.
self? Is it a self thing? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's me. Let me go into my TeamSpeak settings. I'll go to push to talk if I can find it here. You guys know where the push to talk button is in here?
If you go to
You
setting,
gotta go to the setup wizard.
I'm sorry?
you can go to setting and options,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
and then go to capture, and then push to talk.
I gotta find a good key to use. Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, try now.
Hello, hello. All right, that's better.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start over. Oh yes, your friend. I spoke with him only briefly. He was asking about cure to his ailments. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I'm not really a doctor or anything, but it seemed as if he had some sort of skin infection, or maybe he had like eggs in his skin. I'm not really sure. But I told him he should seek medical attention from a professional, and he left rather promptly. He didn't tell me where he was headed, and I'm not sure if this particular city has the medical resources to treat him. But I can definitely say I have not seen him for quite a while.
It's unfortunate. Did he leave anything with you?
No, he was just scratching. I don't know if he had a disease. He seemed to have a bit of madness about him, but I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I can't give a medical opinion, of course.
It's too bad.
Yeah, if you guys ask around the local academy, some of the students, there will be reportings of basically a madman running out the academy across the grounds, peeling off all his clothes and all his armor, and eventually escaping out the farmer's gate north of the city. So basically, he was naked by the time he left the town.
let's just hope that none of you have contracted his madness. That would be... And she pauses for a second. That'd be pretty terrible.
Roland kind of says not really a prayer, but just kind of a silent message to Seahall, kind of asking for her blessing and protection.
I can only hope he's finds what he's looking for out there.
Yeah, like a coat.
Perhaps he
Preferably
needs to
not
be one
one
with nature
made of
for a
wool.
while.
All right, so some of the research you guys figured out was, we showed this last time, the spider connection may or may not have something to do with the clerics of Vecna that reside over in the fishing village across the river. They've been known to keep some spiders as pets. They also are known to deal in the arts of necromancy. Not necessarily necromancy, but in the arts of like raising dead, which the clerics here at the Order of Aster do not believe in that practice. They feel once a person is dead, that is it. It's not their duty or their purpose to play God in that regard and raise people back from the dead. That's why typically the raised dead scroll or services are not offered throughout the Code Lands. However, the Order of Vecna has been known to fill that void. You guys also discovered that the marking on the hand of the gnome and a couple of the dead bodies you found are also tied to the Order of Vecna as well. Did you guys discover? Refresh my memory, guys. Out of character. Did you guys discover in the last session what exactly that symbol did for the people that had the marking?
I think we know it's something related to necromancy, like they would come back to life, but that's about it. That's all I remember anyway.
Okay. All right. So you guys, again, you would have researched all this. It's not exactly a well-kept secret, but there are people out there that know of other people that have had this symbol on their hand before, and as long as they have that symbol on their hand, oh, matter of fact, that's what it was. I think Nimba shared that with you. Whenever Nimba and Jimba were arguing about it, Jimba shared with his brother that as long as he had that marking on his hand, if he ever died, that his brother could bring him back to the clerics over in Vecna, and they would revive him, bring him back to life. That was the whole part of his scheme to try to get rich in the fighting pits, as you guys recall. Okay. So, unless you guys want to roleplay some more, where would you guys like to go from here?
How many days has it been since Nivek kind of said we need to leave? Because I remember he said we need to leave in 2 days.
Yeah, that
So it's been...
Yeah, that would end up being probably sometime tomorrow or possibly the next morning. Because when he told you, it was roughly in the morning time, 9, 10 o'clock-ish, when he said we need to leave in 2 days.
Okay, so it's only been 1 day.
Yeah, you got like maybe another day before he's expecting to leave.
Okay. Roland mentions to the rest of the party that he's going to head back to the Mummers and Mead for a very quick trip, but he'll meet everybody back here shortly, unless they want to come with him.
Can I do like a little introduction to Ruby real quick? Just
Sure.
kind of describe her a bit for you guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I should have done it to begin with. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just give you a little brief description, nothing super crazy. But Ruby is a spindly human woman with a copper complexion. She has mischievous crimson eyes that seem to do little to hide her often clear intentions. She wears a distinct pith hat atop her shoulder-length raven-colored hair, and she has a suit of studded leather partially concealed beneath her khaki explorer's outfit. And aside from that, you see she's often carrying adventuring gear. But as she hears of you guys speaking of stories of adventure, she can't help but interject herself into the discussion. And you can tell easily that she's a professor here of some sort. And she even is often seen wearing her ruby-colored spectacles, perhaps just for the appearance more than anything. And she kind of just approaches you guys and says, "So you guys going on like some grand adventure? I would, I'd love to get out of here. They're pretty restrictive here. Something about working and all that stuff. You know how it is."
The more the merrier.
Another one.
You guys fighting some sort of dragon or ice monster or something out here? What do you guys fight around these parts? I'm not from around here,
Not quite sure what we're going to encounter. We've just been given orders by Nivek to travel with him, and I'm sure we'll encounter some type of beast or another along the way.
Oh, I love beasts. I study them and study history and arcana. I like to fancy myself a bit of an investigator as well, but all that fun stuff. And I love getting into a fun scrap. I just want to. Sometimes it just feels good to just stab your rapier into something,
It's hilarious.
Or fun not to get stabbed too, I guess.
Well, we're
Uh,
happy
roll-
to have a professor along. Your knowledge will probably be valuable out in the field.
That's great. Maybe my sword will be great too.
Hopefully so.
Well, I'm ready to follow, at least until I figure out hierarchy here.
All right, so you guys want to head back over to the Mummers and Mead? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll follow.
All right, so for Ruby's sake, the Mummers and Mead is located over here in Southtown. Or was it Old Town? I think it was Southtown, wasn't it?
I think it was Southtown.
Okay. No, it was Old Town. Sorry, my fault. Old Town. So we'll say it's right in here somewhere.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we only crossed the bridge once. So.
Okay, so what's your intent as you head over to the Mummers and Mead there, Roland? What are you looking for? Are you wanting to snoop around? You want to talk to somebody? What's your... Whoop. I'm just talking away without pushing to talk. Roland, what's your intention once you get over to Mummers and Mead? Are you looking to speak to someone specifically? Are you wanting to look around and investigate something? What's your intent?
Looking for Nimba.
All right, so if you make it over to the Mummers and Mead, you'll quickly realize that he's not there anymore.
I asked the barkeep, where's Nimba?
So last I knew, he was headed over to the Red Keep to check on his brother's body.
All right, if he comes back before I do, let him know that Roland is looking for him. He's got something he's gonna want to see.
Will do. Would you like another fire whiskey?
It's like in the morning, right?
Well, technically it's afternoon. But you guys went off to the fight in the cavern, so I'd say it's probably more around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon now.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, he pours another one of those hot whiskeys that's on there. This one's on the house. I enjoyed watching you drink it last time.
Thank you. And how about one for my new friend here? And he kind of motions over to Ruby.
Ah, the lassie wants to try a shot at fire whiskey. Eh? Are you up for it, baby?
She looks him over, and we have the echo. All right, there we go. She looks him over and she kind of smiles devilishly. I could drink that. I could drink 2 of them if I wanted to, but I'll drink 1.
You have
Well, right, how about 2 more from my other friends? Let's make it a joining of sorts.
I just order a glass of milk. Give me your finest goat's milk, sir.
Hold on, I gotta go back in the back to find some milk. But some people chase the fire whiskey with the milk, so maybe that's a good combination you got going there. So he pours you guys out all your drinks, heads back to the back, finds himself some milk, come back out with a glass of milk as well. There you go, my fine friends. drink up, and tell your friends all about the new fire whiskey.
I nod. I hold up the glass to everybody and say, "Cheers."
Cheers.
Ruby kind of inspects it with her crimson eyes, not quite sure if this is dangerous or whatever, but she throws caution to the wind, and you just see her just chug it as fast as she can, trying to prove her toughness before her new allies.
Okay, everybody roll me a con save.
Boom!
Boom, that natural one. I like it.
Well, Alex had milk, right?
Oh yeah, right. Alex doesn't have to worry about it. Yeah, if you
Oh, good.
got bad at a con save, you just have like you'd be lactose intolerant for the next 4 hours. All right, so Ruby and Quarren, you try as you might to kind of drink it and be kind of tough, but it's burning your throat and your eyes are watering and you're having a hard time focusing for the next couple of minutes. But you're able to chug it down, but it definitely burns as it goes down.
This human drink. I'm not used to it.
Hey, would you like another, my fine friends? Got to build up a
Ruby-
tolerance.
Ruby, her eyes are clearly watering, but she tries her best not to show the pain and agony, and she just shakes her head. Oh no, this is nothing. I don't need another one. She tries to play it off as if it's not bad at all.
Whatever you say, lassie. Whatever you say.
You could probably tell that it did hit her pretty hard though. She's like pretty tall and lanky. And, I mean, for her weight, it probably is a lot of alcohol anyway. She weighs like under 120, so it's probably a hearty drink for her anyway.
Alright, so any other role playing? You guys want to ask anything else? What you guys want to do next?
I guess head for the Red Keep, assuming everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with finding Nimba.
Ruby will learn by osmosis.
Alright, again, your intent at the Red Keep is to just look for Nimba. How you go about doing that?
Yep. I guess I'll go to Pooji, since considering there's the bodies would be there. Oh wait, no. Is there like a central place where our bodies are kept, other than what Pooji has?
That's where you guys brought all your bodies to his lab right there in the Red Keep.
Okay, then we'll head down to Pooji's lab.
Alright, so you guys approach Pooji and you see him and Arquetta looking over a couple of the bodies and they greet you. Says, "Welcome, my fine friends. What can we do for you today?"
Looking for a short friend of mine, goes by the name of Nimba.
Arquetta looks at you knowingly and says, "Oh yeah, he's already been by here. He spent a few moments with the body and we helped him kind of cover him up and put him onto a cart and he left maybe an hour or two ago."
Do you know where to?
He didn't say. He was mumbling something about stupid mistakes that Nimba always made, but I don't know, he was in between tears and frustration. I couldn't make much out of it. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell where he was going.
I asked Arquetta, is there a graveyard around here? Or do you know where the main graveyard would be in this town?
In this town, there's a cemetery out north of town.
Alright, I'll check that out. If you see Nimba before I do, let him know Roland's looking for him.
Okay, she acknowledges that, and she also fills you in that the cemetery north of town is primarily just for humans. Most of the non-human races have to fend for themselves when they try to bury the bodies.
Good to know. I also ask,
That's shameful, but
Okay.
expected of humans. My people acted the same way back home.
Ruby, I want you to roll me a intelligence, just straight up intelligence. You too, Quarren, since you've been here for a while. You guys are two smart people.
Yeah, we are.
Uh, Ruby, you don't have any idea where they would bury bodies other than up north of town. Quarren, all you know is that the other races try to find some other place. It is close, but it's not in the North Cemetery.
Well, I'd share that information with Roland, and I'd say probably if we could find some kind of wooded area, that would likely be a good gray spot, if any, in a secluded area.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to go looking through all the wooded areas in this town. That would take the whole time. But, well, I guess we'll wait a while. And I kind of look back over to Arquetta and ask her, how's the research going?
Slow and steady, slow and steady. I tell you, these markings where we found like we thought something was, burrowing into them. It almost seems like it was burrowing out of them. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's so far that's what we could tell. We have a limited number of bodies that have that trait, but it's still kind of mind-boggling at this point. But we'll continue to look into it and run tests and experiments, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Very good. Roland looks back at the rest of the party. So, looks like what I'm going to do is going to take some time. So what do you guys want to do?
Ruby looks over to Quarren, and her eyes narrow for a second as she seems to study this elf strangely. And there's like an awkward silence, and then she decides to speak to him, and she says, "You're an elf, right?"
A wood elf at that.
Oh, I guess that's different than the other elves. And she thinks about it for a moment, and it's very clear she like never ever sees elves ever, which is a bit strange, but she's just trying to get used to that kind of the idea of an elf. Hey, I'm not from around here. I guess I guess I gotta get used to all these other new types of people.
Sorry, out of game. Have you revealed what race Ruby is, or is that something you're kind of keeping secret for now?
I mean, I revealed that she's human. I haven't gone into the specific what kind of human she is.
Oh, okay.
But no, she hasn't said where she's from yet.
I'll just say,
Okay.
it's common for humans to not like other kinds, but the same goes for other kinds as well. So don't be shocked if you see others act racistly towards you. It's not anything personal.
Oh, I know all about that stuff. Back where I live, in Genasi, they tried to kill us all, but our noble leader stopped them, or at least that's what the people there say anyway. Who really knows, right?
Indeed. Are you not from there yourself?
No, I was raised there. Maybe you've heard of the town. It's called Almraven. Far, far, far to the south of here, near a desert. That's probably why there's not very many elves around there.
No, my people would never venture into a desert. At least none that are kin to staying by their own kind.
And she kind of smiles a bit, and she says, "Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's actually more half-orcs there than elves. Just think about that for a moment." And she just kind of muses a bit and just keeps inspecting the elf. And she kind of loses interest after a few moments and lets her eyes wander off.
So let me kind of share with you guys some of the local, I guess, breakdown of the races, since you guys have been here long enough to realize that. So Helgabal is a majority human town. There are other races, although the sub races make up maybe 15-20% of the total population. most of the non-humans will live over on the west side of town, over near Moon Street, and kind of between Craftsman's Beach and Moon Street. That tends to be most of the non-human race, I guess, residential areas. It's not, the racism is not really bad here, but there's a very clear dividing point between, as far as sections of towns and neighborhoods. They tend to kind of all keep to their own, so to speak. So again, it's not really a really bad racist thing, but they all seem to kind of keep to their own.
Okay.
All right, so where are you guys heading to next? You still trying to find Nimba? Is that your plan?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go and
No.
check the cemetery anyway, just to see. But I doubt he'll be there.
Guys, roll me a wisdom check.
Everyone?
Yeah. Trying to help you out here. All right, Roland. You seem to recall that Arquetta said that Nimble left with a cart and a dead body in the back. You've got a pretty good idea. If you ask around town, someone may have seen in what direction he went.
Also, those other cultists slash priests who were raising people from the dead, they were in Fishingville.
Correct. Yeah, across the river.
Okay, I'll go ahead and ask some people around, but also thinking of heading towards the docks, as he probably went to Fishing Village to try, and I mentioned this to everybody, he probably also went to go see those cultists to try and get his brother resurrected.
Ah, that's good thinking. That would make sense with the marking on his hand and all the connections that we know of now.
Yeah, so I start asking around, but start heading towards the docks. Basically, heading towards the docks and asking people if they've seen him, just to kind of confirm my suspicions.
Yeah, your intuition is correct. You find several people that saw Nimba kind of walking with the body in the cart over towards the docks.
All right. Yeah. As I kind of start to confirm my suspicions, I let everybody know. All right. Looks like we got to get a boat over to Fishing Village and see if we can find these people.
Is that what the whole group's heading now?
I'm with you, Roland.
Same.
Ruby kind of looks at her associates a bit perplexed by this, and she says, "Do people just like normally do that here? Like just revive people casually? Back where I come from, we're just happy not to die in the first place."
It isn't normal, but it looks like it's something that happens here.
You guys must have a lot of diamonds out here.
Diamonds?
And as he says that, she says, "Oh well, isn't that the main way you revive people is with diamonds?"
Roland shrugs. Kind of looks around at Corn and Darian.
I wouldn't know myself, being a monk. I have heard that valuable diamonds are required for such spells, though.
I'm not particularly good at magic. I wouldn't know.
And she's a bit disappointed that her allies don't really know much about this, but she doesn't seem to make too much of a complaint.
You guys did have a cleric in the group, but he's temporarily disposed as of right now. All right, so if you guys make your way over to the docks, you'll find several ferry services that go back and forth to the fishing village. So you have no problem at all kind of securing a ferry to take you across the fishing village if you choose to do that.
I think we choose to do that.
Okay, it's a measly 2 copper per head to traverse the Ice Lace River across the fishing village.
Allow me, friends. I'll pay for all of us.
Roland already kind of pulling out the gold or the copper, just slowly puts it back into his bag.
Oh,
I
that's,
hand the guy 8 copper for the 4 of us.
He takes the change,
ah,
offers his thanks, loads you guys up along with a couple other, looks like fishing type folk that are heading back over to the fishing village. And you make your way across the river, no issues. Nice breezy day, nice calm river. No issues getting across the river at all. All right, I'm going to switch to blow up of the fishing village map, so give me just 1 second. All right, everybody see that okay?
Yep.
All right, so
Yep.
you guys are going to land at the dock right about in here. And this is mostly residential at this point. From your vantage point, you can see a couple of the buildings down here look like shops, potentially. But everything else looks to be like residential from your standpoint.
Would I be able to tell if any of them sold potions like a pocket thief shop?
Even them sold what now? I'm sorry? Oh, sorry, I'm talking. What'd you ask if they were selling?
Potions?
Potions. You'd have to, you just asking around random people, or you trying to go from your own knowledge? How are you trying to?
Well, just from looking from the outside of the shops, I don't know if they have like names of shops or signs of what they sell.
This building right here has a sign that looks like it's normal trade goods. This one here has a sign over it like it's some kind of a tavern or a bar. This looks like some kind of a tailor or a clothes shop. This one is something about fishing supplies. And the rest of them look like just regular residential housing.
Okay, I'll try the general shop, I guess, first.
Okay, so you're going to the general store?
Yeah.
It's typical general store. It's very, not a whole lot of elaborate stuff on there. It's your typical stuff. Got fishing poles and backpacks and adventuring gear, but nothing like potions and whatnot.
Well, I walk up to the guy and I'm like, "Greetings, sir. I noticed you didn't have any potions in this shop. You know where any would be in this town?"
Potions? That's assuming anyone here is rich enough to buy a potion. Have you seen around this town? And to his point, I mean, most of this town is looking a little bit decrepit. It's not the best part of town. I mean, some of the people walking around are looking a little bit, lesser for the wear on them. So he basically tells you that a potion is typically something kind of outside the price range of most of the people in this town.
Ah, very well. Well, just give me 3 days rations worth of food, and I'll be on my way.
Okay. He goes around the back, pulls out a few of them, and puts them in a little bag to you, hands it to you. Okay, that'd be 1 silver, please.
Very well, sir. I put a silver down and take the bag. Thank you.
Come back again, anytime.
I will, and I'll let my friends know as well.
All right. So what's your actions, guys? What are you guys doing?
While that's happening, Roland's going to be walking around asking people if they saw a little man with a cart with what looked like a body inside of it.
Yeah, in no time at all, you'll find several people that kind of point you in the direction that last they saw, he was in the little tavern down here.
Can you ping again? I didn't see anything.
Tavern's right down here.
Oh, okay.
Man, you guys just carry these dead bodies all around town and nobody seems to mind? That's weird.
Well, you guys wouldn't even need an investigation check for this. As you guys are walking around town, you'll see uh, several people. I wouldn't say they look. Um, I wouldn't say they look undead, but they're looking a little worse for wear. Like you see people like missing like an ear. A lot of people like with a limp. A couple people missing like a finger. A couple people have like these weird looking scars on their face. It's they're odd enough as it is. So to see maybe a dead body walking around maybe isn't that big of a deal.
Ruby is still confused as to how everyone here can afford to get revived when they're already broke to begin with, as if there's some dark bargain going on here that she doesn't quite understand.
Were you saying that out loud, or were you just thinking that?
Well, she's thinking it, and then she kind of just looks to her allies and mentions that to them. If they can't afford potions here, how can they afford to bring people back to life?
You
There's
raise a
probably
good
something
point.
else going on.
And Ruby just imagines that, like, there's no way that this is even remotely possible. And she kind of just says to her allies, this must be like some crude facsimile of life, like maybe they're not really brought back to life, but maybe it's just like a trick or something.
Again, you were saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you say that, several people kind of look at you kind of with the evil eye, so to speak, of the non-approving look, and just kind of huff off and try to avoid you. But you're obviously getting some dirty looks at this point.
And once she starts getting some eyes at her, she'll kind of just smile awkwardly and wave, and then try to act as if nothing was said, even though it was very obvious what she had just said.
No change in the outlook from all the people around you. They're still kind of giving you the stink eye.
Well, at least she's not disillusioned to reality like them.
Again, you saying that out loud?
No.
All right. What's your action, guys?
Are we gonna go
Let's check out the tavern.
check the tavern? Let's go.
And what's your intention? What are you looking for? What are you wanting to do?
Ask about Nimba. See if anyone's seen a guy that looks like him.
Okay, go and move all your tokens down here. I'm gonna grab them and go to another map. Okay, spoilers. I sent you the wrong one first. Right, this is the. I'm just talking my way at myself again. A little spoiler. I gave you the wrong map at first, so just erase that from your memory. So here's the tavern. You guys kind of give me your order of how you want to go in, and I'll take it from there.
Ruby will walk in first. She doesn't really know this town very well. But hopefully none of these people inside here heard her spouting off about how unrealistic this all seems to her.
All right, go ahead and place yourselves wherever you guys want to head into the bar. I mean, this is a pretty busy spot at this point. You see all kinds of townsfolk in here and a couple of similarly dressed type of individuals along the perimeter of the tavern itself. Someone playing a piano in the corner, somewhat crudely, but it's good enough to kind of keep some music going, some background noise, so to speak. Several people having drinks, having small meals for dinner, whatnot.
Before Roland enters this area, he's a little concerned. So he's going to cast Mage Armor on himself just in case something does happen.
Okay, no problem.
And Ruby just kind of looks at these guys who all look the same somewhat, at least in terms of garb. And she just imagines that there's something shady going on here. Do they look like they're a member of some sort of group that she might know?
Okay, let me see how close of an inspection are you making? You just inspecting from where you're standing there now, or are you going to actually get a little closer?
Well, as she walks in, she's just going to try to take a glance at the people as she walks by.
Give me a perception check then.
Okay.
Alright, noob GM here. Somehow my little sidebar thing disappeared. How do I bring that back?
Little tab that pops up.
There it is. Okay, sorry. I'm back now.
She just rolls a 6. She doesn't notice anything
No.
particular about them, no.
No, you just notice that there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them all dressed alike.
Alright, she'll kind of just whimsically kind of have her hand on her rapier as she's in the bar, just expecting something bad to happen.
I don't even notice that. I just walk up to this orc bartender. I'm like, greeting, good sir. Have you happened to served a gnome here recently? It might have been down on his luck.
Have a look around, mate. Everybody down is running under luck. I've had plenty of gnomes, dwarves, all the folk that the humans don't like. There's been plenty in here. If you're looking for a particular one, perhaps a little coin might jar my memory.
Yes, I'm looking for someone, and his name is Mimba. And I slide a gold piece to him on the counter.
He kind of palms the gold piece, slides it into his little pocket of his apron there, and looks around both ways a little bit. As a matter of fact, little gnome fella was in here about an hour or so ago, and he and Boss Man are actually talking in the back room right now. You didn't hear that from me.
Your boss man. Who's your boss here? What does he do? You seem to be managing the floor here.
He's the man that kind of helps everybody out. Don't give him any grief. He gets too much crap from Helgabal about that stuff. He's a good man, I tell ya. He helps a lot of people.
Well, then I will have to thank him if I ever see him for helping out our good friend Nimba.
Aye. How do you know he's helping him?
Well, you've said he's helping many people out. I'd assume he's helping our good friend as well. Do you have any reason to believe he's not?
No. Don't get me wrong, my friend. Just I had no idea what their business was.
Can I do an insight to see if I know if he's lying or not?
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, from what you can tell, he's been pretty truthful with you.
Okay. Well, alright. I'll come to you if I hear any news or need to ask you any more questions.
Since I'm right next to Quarren, can I also roll for insight to see if he's telling the truth?
Sure, go right ahead. Oh yeah, you always trust an orc.
All right. Kind of hearing all this, I'm just gonna buy a drink and then just try to get a good glimpse at one of these guys over here and just kind of see if I notice anything special about them.
Okay, roll me.
I go to my party members individually and kind of just whisper that Nimbo's meeting in a back room with the quote head boss of this establishment. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
All right, roll me. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. You see a pretty girl over in the corner.
I go talk to her.
I don't know that was coming. Now, you see the guards just kind of looking around everything. They don't seem to be threatening at this point, but they're definitely got their eyes on you at this point because you guys kind of stand out in the crowd a little bit. Darian, not so much because he's a little bit more dressed like a little hoodlum anyway, but the rest of you guys, you're definitely not from around here and they recognize that.
Well, Ruby just kind of already assumes that something terrible is going on in the back, and it's just a matter of time before doors are getting kicked in and getting searched, but she obviously doesn't say that because there's a million eyes on her.
Do I see like a doors to a back room against the wall anywhere?
Yeah, there's a door right here, and there's a door right here that you think is probably going back to the kitchen. There's also two more doors kind of around the bar side that go back in to some storage or kitchen. Or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, I'll try and stand here, maybe try and look in if I notice anything. And someone opens the door to the kitchen.
Yeah, all you'll see is this waitress right here kind of walking in and out with some food. As the door swings open, you'll see there's a cook in there kind of working fervently at preparing meals and whatnot for the customers out there.
Alright, then I'll go to this side and try and see if I can see what's inside the other door, if anyone's opening it or not.
Nope, that door is closed and there's no one walking in and out.
Alright, I let our party know. I'm pretty sure that the back area is on the left side.
At that, this guard over here kind of walks over to you guys and says, "Excuse me, may I help you too? You're obviously from around."
Yeah, we're just we're looking at these games over here. Do you want to play with us?
He kind of turns around, looks at the game, turns around, looks at you and Quarren. Your friend here wasn't looking at the game just a while ago.
Yeah, he was looking for people to play with us. Looks like no one here was willing to. So, look like it's just us.
Roll a deception check, please. All right, go about your business. He heads back over towards the piano area again.
You sure you don't want to play it? Okay.
And as he says that, Ruby kind of looks over. Oh, I would love to play. What's the game? What do you guys play over here?
Looks like you take a weapon, throw it at the board. The closer to the center you get, the better you do. At this,
Easy.
Roland summons a... I guess I'll say Roland summons his long sword, and then just throws it at the board.
What are you trying to aim for like a bullseye or something? Roll me let's
Yeah,
do some,
yeah.
let's do
Try
some dex
aiming for
check
the
here.
center of the board.
Let's do a dex check here. See how you do. Whammy! Bullseye! Right in the center. The crowd kind of, hey, look at this guy over here. The crowd's just kind of turn around and watching you. And, do it again! Do it again!
As I walk over to pull out my magical sword, I try to give a glimpse over to Darian to see if he can find out anything while the intention's on me. So I just try to kind of give him a little nod towards the back room. I don't know if he can see me from here.
You were saying that or trying to get whose attention? Darian?
Yeah. I'm assuming Darian's kind of looking at me, and I make eye contact with him and try to nod my head over to the back as I pull out my sword.
All right, Darian, you'll need to roll. I'll let you roll perception at advantage to see if you even notice rolling across the room.
Okay. 3, not me, right?
Darian, you said, right?
Did you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
Darian's the rogue, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Darian, roll me perception at advantage.
Sure.
All right, so you definitely notice him kind of gesturing to you. You can kind of understand his meaning of what he's trying to get you to do.
Oh, okay. I come over. What did he want me to do again? I'm sorry. Just so I know. Roland?
I'm sorry, I missed that last. Can you say that again?
What do you need me to do again?
Oh, I just kind of nodded my head over to kind of like I just motioned to the back room.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So would Ruby just do an attack roll to try to hit the target, or dex check, or what?
Oh, yeah, if she's wanting to play, yeah, same thing. It's a dex check to try to hit the target.
Alright. She's trying to make up for choking on the fire ale earlier. And her eyes narrow yet again as she tries her best to save face.
All right, so I got to ask, at this point, Roland, did you pull your blade out before she throws hers?
Yeah, I walked over and pulled out my blade.
And you see Ruby's, she throws a dagger out from beneath her clothing, and she hits the center of the bullseye again, and actually knocks yours out, and it falls on the ground. It's a 23.
Nah, I already pulled out my... I actually threw my entire sword. So I pulled out my sword. That's why I walked up for a little bit. As I was pulling out my sword, that's what I was motioning to Darian.
So can I slip past those guys, or are they kind of like fixed onto the door?
Well, as Ruby, did another bullseye, she obviously got the attention of the entire crowd. The two guards closest to them are looking at those two, but the two at the door are obviously seeing you kind of not paying attention to the game behind you. And again,
Okay. I'm
approaches
like,
you
step
again.
back, everybody.
Says, can I help you?
Oh, I rolled a stealth roll too. But yeah, I guess I can't really hide in open crowd. No. I just needed to get a better view of the game going on. I'll roll deception.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Natural 1.
All right, buddy. What are you really up to? They kind of grasp at their underneath their cloaks a little bit. Not really threatening yet, but they're obviously got you. You've obviously got their attention at this point. Now listen.
Okay.
I've seen you kind of walking back and forth here, looking back and forth. You're obviously looking at this door. Tell us what you're looking for. Let me see your hands.
I kind of like put my hands out to the sides, like up, so they can see like my palms, you know. And then
Are you
I
wearing
just
gloves?
say, yeah.
Okay, they'll ask you to remove your gloves as well.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I take my.
As this is happening, can I try and do something?
Sure.
Alright, so Ruby basically made the bullseye, so as seeing this and kind of noticing that these guards are over at Durian, Roland looks over at Ruby, tries to, again, make eye contact, gives her a little wink, and then starts basically yelling, "You cheated! How did you do that? You cheated!" And then basically tries to start shoving her. Not too hard, but just to try and make a scene and start shoving her.
And as he shoves her, Ruby kind of looks at him, and she gets it. She knows exactly how to get the attention of the crowd. And you see her just walk up and just kick Roland square in the nuts.
At that, the crowd just starts going, "Oh yeah, fight, 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 fight!" These two guards kind of go, "Hey, hey, hey, let's break it up here, break it up." And so this fella right here kind of grabs a hold of Ruby by the arm, and this guy kind of tries to get in between the two. And that's enough of that, or you'll be out of here.
I start yelling, I didn't even get to go yet. And I try and throw a shuriken, but I purposely like let it out this direction instead as I'm facing this way. And I try and like hit this guy in the back of the head with the shuriken's dull side.
You're gonna try to hit the guard?
Yeah, but the dull side of it. Like it was an accident.
So you're gonna throw a shuriken, and you're gonna try to hit him with the dull part of the shuriken.
Okay.
Right? That's what you're trying to do?
I'm just trying to like throw this like aimlessly backwards, so it's like just wobbling around. Hopefully it won't hit him with the sharp end.
I didn't know that shurikens had soft sides.
Yeah,
Bow shurikens do.
that's what I'm going.
That's
Sorry.
what I have.
Let's put it this way: are you trying to damage him?
No, I'm not trying to damage him. I'm just trying to get his attention off of, maybe like I'll land it right on the table or something instead of hitting him.
Okay. Don't need to roll it. Well, yeah, go ahead and roll to hit, because if you do badly enough, then you will hit him.
Okay.
All right, so you kind of flail wildly with your shuriken. It doesn't go forward. It flings it backwards and bounces off the ceiling and off a couple beer mugs, and it lands squarely in the back of like a chair back right next to this guard. He kind of gives you kind of a "what in the hell was that" look, and kind of starts walking over towards you.
I was like, oh, jeez, I'm sorry. I've had a little bit too much to drink already today. I'm not used to your human alcohol. It's too strong for my kind.
Well, let me see the rest of your shurikens. We need no more of that in here. And he asks you to confiscate basically the rest of your shurikens that you have.
Ah, very well. I hand him my shurikens.
Now, maybe you should take it easy on the liquor from now on, until you can get yourself about you. He kind of walks himself back over to the...
Apologize, sir.
Roland slowly gets back up from the fetal position.
Alright, so are you two still actively kind of going at it, or are you kind of broken up at this point?
No,
or-
it's like, all right, you won. Fair and square, you won.
And Ruby kind of smiles, and she like nudges one of the guards. See, I won. This guy thinks that just because I'm a professor, like I don't know how to throw stuff. Come on now.
He kind of looks at you somewhat approving and snickers a little bit, and kind of makes his way back over towards the piano here. The other guy just kind of shakes his head and kind of walks back over to his position over by the front door.
And Ruby kind of looks at the dartboard, and you see she actually has a whip at her side. And you see her just kind of look at the board, and she tries to show off a little bit now. And she tries to just collect her dagger with her whip. And you just see her kind of swing it at the dartboard. perhaps a bit recklessly as she tries to look as cool as possible.
So, so are you trying to like actually knock the dagger out? Or are you trying to actually grab the dagger and pull it back to you? I mean, how elaborate are you
She's
going?
she's trying to grab the dagger with her whip
All right,
and pull it back to her.
all right. So roll me an attack, and I'm gonna say you got to get at least a 15 to do that, and then follow it up with a dex check to see if you can actually retrieve it back to yourself.
Alright. So you see her kind of pull back for a second. And with the 15, she manages to hit the thing and pull it back. And then she tries to grab the dagger as it kind of comes back at her. And that's a dex, right?
Correct.
And that's an 11 on the grab.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You kind of fumble it as it comes back to you, but you're able to secure it, much to the chagrin of the waitress that's walking right behind you. To kind of gives you like a dirty look and says, "Would you please stop doing all this crazy stuff? Someone's gonna get hurt."
And
Go ahead.
she kind of smiles and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, that's just Roland who got hurt."
Yes, I saw that.
Roland.
I saw that enough. But I don't like flying daggers going by my ears.
Roland changes the weapon to a whip and tries to do the exact same thing. So, any other weapons in the board?
You'll see there's not necessarily in the board, but there's like miscellaneous little daggers and like meat cleavers and stuff like that along the floor below it.
Alright, Roland just pulls out one of his daggers, like walks to the board, plants it into the board, takes a step back, and tries to do the same thing with his whip. So he tries to grab the dagger, fling it out, and catch it.
All right, same as before. Give me an attack 15 and a dex save of 10 or higher.
Nope.
So you slash out with this whip, and you just kind of whip at some air, nothing but air at that point, and the rest of the crowd kind of laughs at you and tells you need to stick to getting kicked in the nuts instead.
And Ruby kind of
Roland just
smiles.
walks over to the bar and just says, "Give me your biggest drink."
Ruby kind of smiles and she says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll teach you how to do it later."
So the orc looks you over and says, "My biggest drink? What do you mean by that? You mean biggest as in strongest? Or you mean biggest as like you want an ale as big as your head?"
Both.
Don't be a madman. He goes and pours you just a giant ale and brings it over back to you. I don't need any more of your crazy antics tearing up this bar. Your friend here almost stuck a throwing star in the guard here, and your lady friend almost pierced my my waitress's ears. You guys need to calm down a little bit.
Silently, he just slowly kind of pulls the drink over and just sips to himself.
All right, so as you're drinking your beer, this little fella sitting next to you looks over at you and says, "Well, you're obviously not from around here. What are you guys doing here? We don't get visitors from the city over here very often."
Looking for a friend of mine.
A friend of yours?
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of friends here, friend. What do you look like?
Well, this particular friend of mine is a little smaller. Might have been carrying something with him. Can I roll an insight check to see if this guy is kind of sketchy or if he somewhat looks trustworthy?
Sure, go ahead. He looks about as sketchy as everybody else in this bar.
Yeah, I don't describe too much about it. Just say just a small friend of mine.
By small, you mean like he's a child?
No, Nimba's a dwarf.
out of character. He's a gnome.
Oh, no, okay. No, I said, no, he's grown, but he's probably the size of a child.
Ah, you mean the gnome folk? I tell you.
Roland nods. And then kind of just goes back to drinking his drink. Leans back over to Ruby and says, got any ideas to get in the back?
And as she hears that, she kind of acts like she doesn't hear him. But then she kind of points outside and then kind of smiles, as if she thinks that they have to go through the back door if there is one, or a back window.
Roland kind of nods and just kind of drinks about half of the ale and then kind of slides it back, gets up, kind of like overly obnoxiously kind of yells, "Well, I'm gotta go use the restroom outside. Yeah, so just in case anybody is looking for me, I'll be outside urinating outside."
Okay. So the guy that next to you kind of snickers a little bit, and he's all right. Well, when you're done with that, come back in. I think I may have some information on your friend.
Ruby is like completely baffled that this guy would just make it so obvious that he wanted to go out in the back. And she kind of just crosses her arms, not even sure what to say. And she just kind of nods to the waiter and makes sure that his drink is paid for before following him out.
Bartender looks at him kind of oddly that he didn't really finish his beer, but he thanks you for the coin. Did you tip him, or did you just pay straight up?
How much is the drink? I don't know. It's a large drink, right?
He ordered a large drink, and did you order something, or was it just him?
No, Ruby was just kind of sitting there making sure he didn't, like, get himself killed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would have paid. I just didn't know how much it was.
Yeah, no problem. We don't have to worry about it.
She'll just give him, like, a silver tip and just walk out.
Aye! He picks up the silver, and he sticks it in his one little fang tooth and kind of gives a little tug, and much obliged, ma'am.
And she smiles and nods and then walks out. Is that guy a half-orc or an actual orc? Just curious.
You'd have to roll an investigation?
Sure. She's somewhat familiar with half-orcs where she lives. They're pretty common, but...
You think he's got orc in him? Oh, sorry, you got 11. Not 9. I saw the 9. Yeah, with 11, you got it. Yeah, he's definitely a half-orc.
Yeah, she kind of just assumes that's what it was and just nods politely and leaves, giving him 1 silver. As she walks over, her eye is averted to make sure he isn't actually urinating.
Quarren sees them exit, and he pretends to like stumble out drunkenly. And then when he's outside, he's like, "So what's the plan?"
Ruby kind of smiles and she says, "Well, if they have so many guards watching all the doors here, maybe they don't have any doors watching or any guards watching the windows?" And she obviously she's not very sure about it. But that's the best bet she can come up with. GM is not pressing the talk button.
Alright, what's Darian doing at this point?
Guess I'll just,
Because this guard's pretty much staying right next to your side now. He's got his eyes on you, and he's not moving away from you.
I'm looking for a friend. He's a gnome, and I think he came here, and I think he's talking to your boss.
A gnome, you say?
Yes.
You by chance know his name?
Out of character, I forget.
It was Nimba.
Nimba.
Oh, Nimba.
He looks at you, looks back at his other guards, says, "Wait here." And he kind of walks and opens up the door and steps inside and closes the door again. All right, rest of the group, what are you doing? Sorry, I'm just talking without pushing the button. What's the rest of the group doing at this point?
Waiting for Darian.
Did I push my
I'd
button?
begin to like check around this side of the house, I guess, to just see if I could see any windows yet. Just peeking around.
Ruby will head the other way, and she'll kind of move around silently as well, trying to see if there's anything special, like a secret entrance or just an open window that they can access.
Okay, just real quick, but make sure I had my push to talk on a while ago. Darren, did you hear me say what the guard said to you after you asked him about Nimba?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Make sure I actually had my push to talk button on. All right, so Quarren, on your side of the building, you can see it's pretty much stone all the way down. Right about here, you see something that looks, well, come on. Oh, I got to put my pointer back on. Right about here, you see what looks like a chimney. And same thing on the other side over here, Ruby. You see it's pretty much a stone wall the entire length with the exception of, looks like a chimney stack right here along the wall.
Alright, well that's not a very useful chimney.
Roland, any action?
I go back around and I say, I didn't see any walls on the side. I mean, windows on the side, but maybe on the back side of the house there could be a way in.
Probably.
Yeah, I just saw a chimney. Did you see anything else?
No, just a chimney on my end as well.
She thinks about it for a second. Well, I could climb down the chimney. I don't know though. Those are awfully cramped.
Plus, he'd probably be climbing right into a fire.
I like those odds.
Okay, the guard comes walking back out the door here, and behind him you see this tall-looking, bald man walk out as well and shut the door behind him. He walks up to you and says, "My guards here tell me that you're a friend of Nimba's. Is that so?"
Push to talk.
Sorry, thank you. So how much of that you missed? So the guard comes walking back out. This bald-headed guy comes walking out in robes, kind of approaches Darian. "Well, my guards tell me that you're here to see our gnome friend, Nimba. Is that true?"
Yes, that's true.
And at that, you'll see the door kind of peek open just a little bit, and you'll see a couple eyes sticking out there, and then Nimba comes walking out. Says, "Ah, my friends, thank you. What brings you here? Are you following me?" And Ohalis, this old guy says, "Nimba, you know these folks?" "Oh yes. They're the ones that told me the news of Jimba." I said, "Ah, I see. Come to check on our progress, have you?" He was saying that to Darian.
Yes. Oh, we were just concerned. And, progress? What do you mean, progress?
The guy looks back at Nimba. "Did you not tell them?" "Well, not really. I mean," and Nimbo kind of walks over to you and kind of feels you in. He says basically that he was going to give his brother the proper burial, but the thought of it was just breaking his heart. So he thought he'd give this cleric order a chance to see what they could do to possibly bring his brother back.
Oh, okay.
Roland notices it's taking Darian a little while to come out, so he's gonna peek his head in.
Okay, you'll obviously see Darian over here talking to somebody. You're not sure who he's talking to, but he's obviously talking to somebody.
Yeah, Roland takes another step back and he says, Darian's talking to somebody. Should we go back in and check it out?
Yeah, he might need help.
Alright. Roland walks in. Much better. And then walks back down, tries to take a seat over here.
I just get back in front of the half-orc.
Alright, so as you guys enter back into the tavern, Nimba obviously notices you guys and welcomes you guys and, I guess thanks you guys for following up, but he says
Nimba.
it's really not necessary. It's just I didn't know what else to do. I miss my brother so much. I just thought I'd give us a shot and see what it's like. I haven't heard bad things about what they do here. And at that, the bald-haired guy says, "Of course not. We don't do anything that's evil or bad, as those other clerics claim. We do a good service to this realm. Why, they believe that no one gets a second chance. All I do is provide that second chance to those who want it."
Can I roll an insight check on him?
What are you trying to insight about? Whether he's lying about it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, see if he's got some other insidious plot, or if he's genuinely trying to give people a second chance.
Yeah, go ahead. From what you can tell, he seems to be telling the truth, being quite truthful with you guys.
Roland looks over to Nimba and says, "Hey Nimba, I got something that'll make you feel better."
He kind of looks at you quizzically and says, "Make me feel better?"
It'll give you something to help you with your you and your brother's dream of getting your ship to fly.
Okay, at that, he obviously got his attention. His eyes kind of get wide and stuff, and says, but what can you do?"
I'll tell you later when we're in more private setting. I wouldn't want to spoil the secret and have someone else take advantage of it.
Ah, very well, very well. I'm okay with that.
But is your brother gonna be okay?
You're asking. Okay, you're obviously asking Nimba. Yeah, he'll kind of fill you in the fact that he brought his brother here a couple hours ago, and talked to Ohalis. That he introduced you to the bald-head guy. His name is Ohalis. He's the what's he called? The Grand Seer of the Crypt, I believe is his title. And he explained to him the process of what it takes and how they are truly trying to help people, but there's oftentimes a side effect or a drawback to this, depending on how long the body's been deceased. And he'll kind of fill you in some of the details if you guys care to hear it.
I'm
What are these
interested.
side effects?
So Ohalis kind of turns and says, "Well, let me tell you, everyone thinks that Vecna is such an evil being, an evil god, but she does quite marvelous things, as you can see, the bringing those their second chances back to them. But it does cost a price. Now, with the traditional methods of raising the dead, as you probably well know, it's quite an expensive process, if you can even find someone willing to do it. However, all Vecna asks is that you make a small sacrifice to appease her, how we say, other desires. And it's just a small sacrifice is all we ask of them." At this, Nimba kind of rolls his eyes and says, "Just tell him." It's like, "Very well, very well. Well, if someone comes to us that is not a, shall we say, someone already previously blessed by Vecna, then they could lose a random thing like a finger, an ear, sometimes a toe. It's per Vecna's will as to what she chooses to take in exchange for their life back. However, if someone does, how we say, receive the blessing of Vecna, and he kind of holds out his hand, and you can see the emblem of the eye in the palm of his hand, then there's less of a chance of the side effect. She she looks favorably upon those with the blessing. And Nimba kind of looks at you, kind of almost embarrassed. What? And he says, "Yeah, yeah, I know, but it's it's still worth it, right?"
Ruby's just kind of staring at this gnome from like the middle of the bar. And again, gnomes are like just about as rare and mythical as elves where she comes from. And the fact that he believes that the resurrection is such a simple process, she kind of rolls her eyes a bit and kind of goes to the bar and just orders a meal so that she's not loitering.
Right, and just I guess out of character, Ruby, you'll know from your time being in Helgabal that the raised dead is something that's relatively simple in most, I guess, realms. But however, in this area, it's still kind of frowned upon, and that's why I guess this person's services have become uh, pretty much, I wouldn't say the norm, but a somewhat accepted practice.
But yeah, well, I'm not even saying raised dead is not normal, but for her, it's just like it seems like too good to be true from what she knows from research on raised dead to just like casually revive a bunch of poor people. She would just assume that he's full of crap or there's some catch that they're not telling.
Roland asks Ohalis, do you mind if we go back and see the process? I'm quite interested to see how this happens.
Perfect segue, my friend. So that's what your little friend and I were just discussing. In order to do this process or this ritual, we have a very a discreet place where we do this, obviously because of the nature of this blessing, as you might say. But we ran into a slight problem with the area where we conduct this business. You see, we do this in our preparation room of the crypts that we partake in or we oversee. But we've had a recent infestation problem with some spiders in the crypts. And at this, you kind of see that underneath one of his robes, you can see one little spider kind of crawl out and onto his hand. He's holding his hand. He says, "No, it's true that we keep these as pets and sometimes guardians within the crypts. But as you can understand, the spiders only take care of live things like vermin and no never well doers that may try to rob the graves. They don't disturb any of the dead. Obviously, they want live, fresh meat. But as it turns out, we've had an infestation of some of the less domesticated type of spiders within the crypt, and we could use your help. Actually, since you're here, and Nimbus has told me the tales of what you guys have done in the past, that perhaps someone of your skill set could help us out. So if we could help us clear out the crypts, then we could perform this ritual before it becomes too late." And at that, Nimba kind of looks at you guys almost like, would you? Could you?
Well, it's heartbreaking for an elf to see all these other races go so early in comparison to my own, so if I can make your brother's death easier for you in any way, I will gladly do so.
And Nimba just thanks you profusely. "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just don't know what to say. We've got to be quick. The Ohala says it's right around 3 days is when the chances start to deteriorate, and it's I gotta believe it's getting close to 3 days now." Ohalis agrees. "Yes, yes. From my inspection of the body, he is approaching that point of no return, so to speak. I mean, there's still possibility that it will work, but as the days pass, the chances become less and less."
Roland kind of walks over to Nimba and just kind of whispers in his ear, the dead should be put to rest and not brought back, but if this is something you truly wish, then I will help you.
And he kind of looks at you and kind of, takes your hand and kind of shakes it, vigorously says, "Yes, yes, I completely understand. I've struggled with this for the past couple hours, but Jim, he's my only family. He's all I've got left. I just, I don't know." And he kind of just looks down at the ground again and just kind of mumbles a few things incoherently.
I kind of look over at Darian and Ruby.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second. What'd you say?
Oh, I look over at Darian and Ruby, and I ask them, "Are you in?"
You see Ruby kind of casually walk over, and you see her just smile as she gives Roland like a rough punch in the shoulder. And she says, "Oh, of course. I can't let my dart throwing buddy get hurt too bad, right?"
Roland whimpers again.
At that, O'Hala says, "Oh, it's settled in. So we'll give you directions of where to go to and the general lay of the land, if you will. The crypt is mostly one level, couple of large rooms with a couple storage areas. Now, mind you, this is a crypt. There are deceased down there, so please, we must ask. I know this may not seem right to ask this of you, but do not disturb the dead. Some of them have some of their private possessions down there. Do not touch anything. Leave everything as is. All we ask is that you help with the infestation. Oh, and while you're at it, tell you what, this infestation sometimes leads to spider sac eggs, and as we have a need for those, actually. As you can see, my little friend here, and he shows his little spider in his hand. We need to train a few more of these. So if you could somehow secure some more of these spider sac eggs, why, we could reimburse you for that. Because we need to train these guys and put them back in place in the crypt to keep these undomesticated types out, if you know what I mean. So tell you what, for every spider sac silk you bring me back, I'll give you, what, is 100 gold pieces enough?
You just piqued my interest, sir.
Ah,
How much gold was it? You cut out for me.
100 gold pieces per sack.
Oh, that's a crap load. Ruby tries to hide her joy in hearing 100 gold, and she just kind of nods excitedly. Her eyes obviously betraying her as she tries to stay cool, but is obviously ecstatic.
Darian is clearly overjoyed at this.
He smiles at all of you and says, "And I'll even waive the donation that Nimba was going to provide to us for the services." And at that, Nimba's like, "Oh, great, thank you guys. This is awesome. Free drinks on me. After you get back.
I thought you stopped drinking.
After you get back."
And Ruby kind of smiles at the gnome and kind of looks down on him and just kind of looks him over, and she says, "Oh, maybe we can talk after this. I've never really met a gnome before."
Anytime, my friend. I'd be happy. I think I've seen you around. Aren't you a professor at the academy?
And she nods and she says, "Yeah, I don't pay too much attention to the specifics." And she kind of like sheepishly laughs a bit and she says, "I'm probably not working as much as I should be, adventuring and all that stuff."
Ah, I see. Well, I'm sure we could have plenty of talks together. I've got all kinds of little tidbits and mechanical trinkets and whatnot that I could use someone maybe with your brain power to kind of bounce some ideas off of sometime.
She kind of just nods in understanding. She imagines that this guy's a bit of a madman to be going through all of this, but she doesn't judge him too harshly. And she just is a bit eager to get in the crypt and search for a remarkable treasure and infinite danger.
All right. Anything else you guys want to ask of Nimba or Ohalis or anybody else?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, so he'll basically give you guys the directions of where the crypt is. It leads out kind of east of town along somewhat of a stone path leading out from the temple out into there's a small cemetery above ground, but in the back side of the cemetery is an entrance down into the crypt itself. He says you'll be able to recognize the entrance because there'll be a couple banners along the outside of the entrance with the symbol of Vecna on each side of it. So again, he kind of gives you the general layout of the crypt. It's a couple large chambers on the first level with some smaller rooms around it, and there is a second level, a lower level that is unfinished. It was started years and years ago, but they never had the need for it. They hadn't filled up the upper level yet, but future plans were to make that lower level potentially more areas for bodies and crypts. Alright, so I will go ahead and switch you guys over to the map.
Before I leave, I ask for my darts back from the guard and apologize for my mishap.
Ask for your darts back.
Or
Sure,
my shuriken.
So the guard kind of looks at Ohalis as almost like wanting to see an approval from him, and Ohalis kind of nods his head a little bit and says, "That's very well, very well. Give him back his tools, his weapons." And the guard kind of grudgingly pulls them out of his pouch and hands them over to you and says, "Just try to be a little more careful. If you're actually going to try to kill something, you should try to throw it forward next time."
I'll try. I'll have to stay off the human sauce.
Human sauce, indeed. Alright, so you guys ready for me to switch the map?
Yeah. So dark.
Oh, did I leave dynamic lighting on again? Can you guys see anything?
Nope, it's all black.
Okay, let me turn off dynamic lighting. I'm not going to mess with it this time.
And as we leave the area, Ruby kind of just looks over to Quarren and she says, "You know, I wonder how such a small bar can afford so many guards. I wonder." She muses very, very obviously to him.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing when they were offered us 100 gold for each spider sack. I don't know where that money is coming from either.
In fact, she's kind of wondering what the donation would cost for this service to begin with.
Would you have asked that before you guys left?
Yeah, she'll probably just have asked what it would cost just in case her beloved Roland died of his injuries.
Alright, so before you guys left, Ohalis would have told you that for the service itself, it's a flat $250 donation, regardless. But for the blessed services, all you need to do is just receive the marking, and that'll give you a blessed where you have less of a chance of one of the side effects.
Oh, so it's still pretty expensive. It's like half price resurrection.
Well, half price per like standard D&D, but in the Cold Lands, a resurrection, assuming you can find someone, could range anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, well, I mean just in base material costs, not like societal costs.
Right.
Yeah, that's still fishy to her.
So you guys, you're at the stairs heading down here, and there's obviously one door off to the left here, and the other hallway kind of keeps going straight down. And he told you that the infestation has pretty much not really been kept to just one room, but it's been pretty much all over.
Roland changes his sword again from a whip to back to a longsword.
All right, fair enough. I will reveal the light as you guys decide where you're moving to. Just let me know where you're going to here. It's obviously this crypt. You guys went down approximately 40-50 feet into the ground. The walls, what you can see here, are some kind of superior masonry. The floor is like a uneven flagstone, so to speak. And this hallway here, you can see some cobwebs, but obviously no signs of any kind of infestation or anything of the sort. Again, it's dark. There's no torches. So you guys will either need to light a torch, or unless some of you have dark vision, to kind of see your way through.
I think I'm the only one with dark vision, right?
I also have it.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I'll probably be taking the lead then, having dark vision. So I'll walk up here first.
Sorry, out of game, Corn, are you a ranger?
No, I'm a monk.
Oh, you're a monk, okay.
all right. So just let me know if
All right,
the other two have a torch or not.
Well, Ruby will try to stay hidden in the shadows, and hopefully somebody ahead of her will have a light that will allow her to jump into action.
Go ahead and get started. Armor of Agathis on himself.
All right, no problem. Just remind me of that if and when you get involved in any combat here. All right, let's go down another corridor. Looks like the same thing. I mean, no obvious signs of infestation.
Okay, I'll walk up here and do a perception. See if I see or hear anything.
You don't see anything other than what you've been seeing up to this point. As far as hearing, you hear typical type of cavern type of stuff, maybe some rustling of some kind of vermin or something, and down the corridor a little bit further, but nothing where you can really make out exactly what it is.
Okay. Keep going then. Keep going.
You see at the end of this hallway, there's another door that's open. Looks like it leads into a larger room.
Okay, I'll see if I can hear anything in the room. Probably not with that.
Okay, so before you go in that room, I need to know if Ruby and Darian, are you guys relying on what they're telling you, or do you guys have a
Roland
torch?
being towards the front would also try to see if he can hear or see anything.
Okay, but before I give you an answer on that one, I need that answer. I need to know if Ruby and Darian are carrying a torch. Did I not push stop?
I have a lantern. Yeah, I have a lantern now.
That was Darian.
Yep.
All right, so just keep in mind that's in one hand. Let me know if you ever drop it. So I'll leave the. I'll reveal the areas behind you as well. If you stop that, then I'll start closing it up.
Ruby's carrying a rapier and a shield, by the way.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Corn, if you want to move now. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Roland, your perception check. Same thing. You're just seeing pretty much the same hallway you've seen before. Not really hearing. Oh, man, I was reading the other one. 15. Same thing. Actually, from this corner, you can hear a little bit more louder rustling coming from the room in front of you. But again, this sounds like something just kind of shuffling across the floor, maybe. Not sure if it's more just rats or vermins or what.
Do you let me know you hear anything?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I need to push the talk. Yeah, I just mentioned there might be something in the next room. Just be on guard. Could just be rats or something, but if we know spiders are going to be down here, we know they're not going to be too loud, so be ready.
At that, I draw my katana and just have it in one hand at the ready. I keep going in.
Alright, so as you enter this room, you see in the very center of the room is a very large cage, and what appears to be some kind of zombie is standing inside that large cage.
Push the talk.
Sorry, thank you very much. Okay, so as you enter the room, you see a very large cage in the center of the room, and what appears to be a zombie kind of walking around and dragging around, what do we call it, lumbering around in circles inside this large cage. The floor is covered in hundreds of strange runes and inscriptions. Several smaller cages are located along the perimeter of the room, and all these contain what appears to be lifeless skeletons with pieces of rotten flesh and dead flesh just hanging off their bones.
Can I do an Arcana check for the runes? Roland, I'm guessing Roland would have had some knowledge when he was researching the runes that were on his hands back at the academy.
So you're trying to figure out if these are any way tied to the ones that are on your wrist? Is that what you're checking for?
Not tied to the ones I have, but if I just happen to notice anything similar to what I read.
Okay, go ahead.
Nope.
Ruby would try to check out the runes as well. She knows quite a bit about Arcana from her years in the university, and she'd maybe try to identify if there's anything specific about the runes.
Right ahead. These are, from your recollection, are some kind of runes tied to the cleric faith. You're not sure which school or which, I guess, avenue within the clerics it is, but they are some kind of cleric-based runes.
And she looks over to Roland and she says, "These are some sort of clerical runes. I don't know which specific order, but I would have to imagine it's of this dark order."
Roland nods, says, this is why the dead should be put to rest and not awoken, and I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast the zombie in the cage.
Mean old man. That zombie's not hurting anybody. But yeah, go ahead. Wow. Okay, so that obviously just obliterates this zombie. I mean, there's like what little bits of flesh are left on him just go flying across the room and against the wall and the floor, and he just kind of crumples down in a heap of broken bones and mutilated flesh at this point. However, 1 second, please. Yeah, and he crumbles to the floor.
As he gets blown to bits, I'm just like terrible to see a human end up as this at the end of their days and only to be caged and destroyed in such a ruthless manner.
He's been put to rest now.
Yes, but whoever was responsible for this has done a dark deed.
And with that, you'll see Ruby kind of slink off into the shadows as she kind of, fumbles around in the dark, trying to hear if anything is coming on. After hearing that Eldritch Blast just absolutely destroy the zombie.
Okay, do a perception check.
Yeah.
Again, you don't hear anything except for the normal skittering that you heard before. Not sure what direction it's coming from, but it's kind of soft and faint and doesn't sound very threatening.
Alright, well she's kind of a bit eager to get looking, and even though she's somewhat trying to stealth, she's kind of gesturing for her allies to lead the way.
Okay. I'll check this one opening first.
From your standpoint, you peer into this room and you see what looks like several altars.
I don't know any spider webs or any spider eggs or anything like that yet, right?
No spider eggs. So
I'll just peek my head in here.
So Corn, as you you're gonna go ahead in. Okay, let me review all of it then. 1 second. Okay, so as you enter this room, you see several altars are scattered throughout the room, kind of the center of the room. You see 2 statues in the shape of what appears to be goblin heads, affixed to the east wall with their mouths gaped open, and their tongues are hanging out over a water trough. Several buckets and wash basins also lie on the ground next to it. Over in the corner, you see a barrel with what appears to be some soiled or dirty clothes kind of hanging off the side of it.
Well, that's odd. It almost appears like someone's washing their clothes here, or maybe this is the deceased clothes after they were buried and their clothes was washed as well.
You see Ruby look at the goblins critically as she contemplates pouring water into their mouths.
Okay, the water in the tub, from that standpoint, you can tell it's not exactly stagnant, but it's been sitting there for a while. But you don't really see any kind of odd, out-of-place things as far as these goblin heads are concerned. Their tongues appear to be shaped almost like a gutter, so to speak. Like maybe you think the water runs out of their tongues into this little basin.
Okay. You'll see her lean forward as she tries to look to see if there's anything hidden inside of the tongues.
Investigation.
Yeah.
From what you can tell, these are some very finely crafted goblin statues made of marble. But other than just being an ugly-looking goblin with a big tongue hanging out, don't see anything else that's peculiar.
She looks a bit disappointed that there's nothing special about these goblins. But after she looks in there, she kind of tries to take a peek in the dirty clothes barrel, I guess. Does it look like clothes in there?
Yeah, no investigation check needed. This is just a barrel full of like dirty, tattered, soiled clothes. I mean, it looks like it's something someone would maybe bring off of a battlefield of all the dead. There's blood and other types of, unmentionables all over these clothes in here.
They probably just want to get rid of the stank of death and all the germs that follow that.
From what Ohalis told you before, you guys should be able to recognize that this is probably where they perform some of their rituals or processes. The altars themselves, they look like they've been recently washed. Recently meaning like maybe in the past few days. But other than that, there's no other kind of signs of blood or anything weird on the altars themselves.
Well, Ruby would get a little bit impatient, loving the thrill of battle. She would kind of try to advance forward again, trying to peek around this corner with hopefully the help of Darian and his lantern.
Roland says forward and says, "That's right, I got it." And he steps forward.
Nope. More hallways, twisting and turning.
Walking down the corridor a little bit, he kind of turns around, notices no one's behind him, and says, "Guys."
Ruby quickly catches up while Quarian is apparently AFK.
I guess in the meantime, we can assume Corn's behind me.
Yeah, we'll assume he stays with the party until he gets back. I'm okay with that. More twists and turns. Another long hallway, and it curves off to the right. Alright, so you can see into this room a little bit, and you can see on the floor about, what is that, 20 feet in front of you, what appears to be an open, empty coffin, and some kind of altar in the middle of the room.
Push talk.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to get my pointer back. Alright, so as you enter this room, you can notice that the walls are covered with what appears to be wrapped bodies and crude coffins that are set into the walls. You see an altar standing in the middle of the room with what appears to be a rusty dagger, an empty basin bowl, and a wrapped body. Several empty coffins lay about the room as well.
It's all wrapped with cloth, right?
Correct, yeah. Various types of cloth, whatnot, but completely wrapped up. You can't see any of the features of them. It's just like one big, solid, wrapped up body.
Okay. It just kind of continues down.
Rest of the party following?
Yeah, Ruby will slink after him, feeling a bit uneasy about all the dead in this area.
Alright, so as you peer into this corridor, you can see that the entire corridor is rough. It's unfinished, not like the rest of the floors and walls. And this corridor is completely covered in spider webs. So this would be considered difficult terrain if you decide to travel into here. You will see off to your left there are two other openings on the east wall, and there's another opening to the south corner wall.
I kind of mentioned there, but it looks like there's a lot of spider webs there, so we might want to check out the other areas.
Ruby, she remembers the offer of 100 gold each, and she contemplates whether they should come back here later or just try to deal with this immediately.
Yeah, I say this is perhaps the first place to look if we see spiderwebs, as we are hunting spiders here.
Yeah, but there might be an easier way in instead of wading through all the spider webs.
Ruby kind of beams and she says, "Well, I love wading through danger."
Alright. Roland starts walking forward.
Okay, just keep in mind, as you guys go through here, it's difficult terrain unless I say otherwise, okay?
So that's half move speed?
Correct.
Okay.
See, a corridor leads down and goes off to the left, with another corridor before the end of it, it goes off to the left. Corridor in front of you goes off to the left again. Difficult terrain. Look at him fly.
I'm just gonna keep moving forward unless
That's
something,
fine.
unless you say something
That's fine.
happens.
Just giving you some crap. More and more spider webs. It seems to be getting thicker at this point.
I kind of mentioned to everybody, the spiders probably know we're here.
See a corridor
But-
heading down. Again, to shoot off to the left again. Ah, you passed by some stairs that are going down deeper into the crypts. And this is another hallway.
Like that probably just leads down to the rest to that room we were just in. So deeper or more exploration?
You said it leads down to the. You said.
You should clear out every floor before advancing deeper.
All right.
Okay, before you guys start cussing me, I didn't make this dungeon. It was already pre-made.
Let me know if this is too much to ask, but can we, if we go into a corridor that just links up with a room that we've already found and there's nothing significant, can we just assume we just walk down that and just come back around?
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't say anything because I didn't know if you were going to go down back down those stairs. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't say anything because I wasn't sure if you're going to go back down these stairs over here or not.
Yeah, so I guess we're going through all the rooms.
Okay, as you enter this room, you'll see several rows of standing shelves filling up this room. On the shelves, you see jars containing some kind of milky green liquid and various appendages. You see fingers, you see toes, ears, some eyeballs, what appears to be some kind of a tongue.
Do I see anything in this room?
Sorry, I'm just talking away. See several rows of standing shelves filling this room. Each jar contains what appears to be some kind of milky green liquid and various appendages. I mean, you see fingers, you see toes, you see an ear, you see an eyeball, tongues. All these things are floating inside these milky green liquids inside all these jars on all these shelves.
I kind of look back to Parius. Maybe this is what that offering, what was that guy's name?
Ohalis.
Yeah, I mentioned this is probably what the offering Ohalis mentioned was.
Ruby kind of chuckles and she says, well, maybe they're just trying to collect enough to make a whole person.
What could they possibly want to do with that?
Make an evil abomination, of course.
Is this common in human culture?
Not where I come from.
I've never seen one.
I'd hope not.
Alright, so as you step out into this larger chamber slash hallway, you see it's filled with chests of all shapes and sizes. Up and down each side of the corridor.
I just keep walking through it.
I'd take a look at one of the chests.
By look, what do you mean? You're just literally just looking at it?
Yeah, like see if I can notice anything peculiar about it or a trap on it or something, or even a lock.
Yeah, they all appear to have locks on them. You gonna like actually see if they're locked, or I mean like inspect to see if they're locked?
Yeah, sure. I'll walk up to it and inspect it.
Okay, you see that the one right in front of you, it's definitely locked.
Ruby kind of explains to her ally, these are probably chests of belongings that belong to all the victims. You probably shouldn't be robbing these.
Yes, I was just curious. I don't even have tools to get this open.
Yeah, like I said, the chests are all different shapes and sizes, but from
Do any of them have labels on them, like as to who they might belong to?
from the ones you've inspected, no, you don't see any kind of labels or anything like that.
Strange. In her head, the only explanation as to why there wouldn't be labels would be if there was never any intention of giving this stuff back to the people who brought their stuff here and they died.
All right, I got nothing else for you guys. It's a room full of chests. Unless you guys want to try to open them up or something. I'm not insinuating that.
Connection lost.
Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Connected.
Right back.
Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear
Did
you.
anyone else lose connection, or was it just
Yep.
me?
I think everyone did.
I didn't.
Us three didn't. You two did. Alex and Brian.
Okay, so as you enter this last room, there's number 6 here. This room is filled with all kinds of webs, and you see several empty spider sacks laying all about the room.
I get closer to see if I can find any sacks that aren't empty.
Alright, so as you enter, a minute.
Ruby will follow behind him a bit uneasy.
I'm back. So are these spider eggs that we found?
Opened ones. I was seeing if there were any more, but
These spider sacks are all busted at this point. And as you guys enter the room, several different types of spiders drop from the ceiling, and that's initiative, folks. Yeah, just 1 second, guys. Gotta get my monster stats out here. All right, so basically what dropped down from here, you see these 3 different fairly large spiders, and also from the ceiling drop what appears to be this giant little swarm of tiny spiders, almost like spider hatchlings at this point.
This is kind of funny because, like, out of game in my campaign, I had the party fight a bunch of spider swarms in the last session, so this is kind of funny.
Well, what a coincidence. All right, so hold on just a minute. Does 17 hit you, Ruby?
No. She has 18 armor class. You basically see her almost as if she's about to get caught, but her training as a fighter allows her to kind of block the attack at the very last moment.
Okay, how about a 16 for you, Quarren?
No, I have 17.
Ruby actually has 19 armor class, I'm sorry.
And I got a crit on Roland. And that was from the spider swarm.
Okay, and if that's a physical attack, they immediately take 10 cold damage.
Okay, that's the spider swarm. Kind of engulfs you, covers your entire body at that point. And 1 second. They still get to do their damage first, right? They still get to do their damage first, right?
Yeah. They still do their stuff, but I think after that, then they get hit by the 10 cold damage.
Okay. All right. So I think I said it before, but I didn't push the talk. So this giant swarm of hatchlings kind of drop from the ceiling and they engulf your entire body, and you feel these thousands of little bitty, tiny little teeth kind of dive into you for a whopping 2 points of damage. And then they basically going to burst into a bunch of little ice droplets, and they all fall dead to the floor. So that was fun. And we're at the top of the initiative now.
Okay. I'll beat on this one right here.
Alright, let's see it. Six bludgeoning damage. Okay, so that definitely hits him.
Okay, that's all I can do.
What'd you hit him with? What'd you hit him with?
My fist.
Alright, so you pummel this poor little spider in the abdomen, and your fist kind of goes on the side of it, but he's still kind of standing there. Alright, next. Roland, you're up twice? Why are you on there twice?
Should be me then Ruby.
Yeah, I got you in there twice for something to get rid of this one. Okay. I got Roland at 23, Quarren at 17.
Did Roland do anything? I thought he just got attacked with his armor on. Was all.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was the spider's attack, not
My
mine.
fault.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Roland.
They killed themselves. He didn't do anything. So it's his turn.
I think maybe you've been referring to I was on the turn order twice.
Yeah, you're in the turn order twice, so I missed you on your attack, so go ahead, Roland.
Okay, well now I'm not on the turn order at all, but I'll just say we'll go before Ruby, because we have the same initiative. So I'm just gonna walk over to this one in between Ruby and Quarren, this black one over here, and just slash at it with my sword, my magical sword.
AC 13. Damn.
Max damage.
All right, so you definitely give him one hell of a hit on that one, but he's still standing. So
So how does the spider react to getting slashed?
with a hit like that, you actually kind of severed a couple of his legs, and you hear somewhat of some kind of a spider screeching sound, but it's looking pissed off, and it actually sees some web kind of coming out of his rear end. And he's pissed off, but he's still kind of standing.
Okay, and I take it Ruby's next.
Correct. Yeah, on my turn order it shows Roland 23, Quarren 17, and Ruby 11. You guys not seeing that?
You have to set it to go in order.
Did you also clear it from before? It might have been the old ones.
It's in order now. Didn't Quarren already go and attack the spider on his
He
right?
did, but I just
Yeah, Quarren went.
I just reset the
Okay, well,
I just reset the order to see if it would clear it up.
Okay, well,
Ruby's up.
you kicked the one guy out of there. Ruby will look at the spider that just got slashed up, and she'll just kind of smile deviously and just try to stab the creature in the back, hoping to bring it down while it's fighting her ally.
Holy crap, guys!
So you just see her stab right into the back of the spider, like fiercely, as her rapier doesn't seem to care about his well-being. And you just see the spider kind of splat as she just gores it easily.
For the sake of role-playing, can we say this goes off at the exact same time? So like we just synced our attacks to hit perfectly at the exact same time?
We did have the same initiative.
That'd be freaking awesome. Yeah. So go ahead and roleplay that however you want. That would be awesome. Go ahead.
So Ruby looks across to Roland and nods, and it's like they already know what to do. And you see her lunge forward, almost in unison with Roland. And as she swings, Roland can explain what happens.
Yeah, from my end, so I just take my my shimmering sword that looks obviously more magical, as it's got some kind of leaves and some what looks to be some type of wispy essences surrounding it, and just slashing straight into the spider. As I say, Ruby, going in for its stab.
And as she does, you hear a light clanking noise as their swords kind of meet at the center of the spider's body. And she kind of smiles a bit and yanks her sword out of the corpse, the husk of a spider, as she kind of nods to her friend, almost wanting to apologize for kicking him in the nuts, but not quite.
Corrin just like smiles, pleased with his friends obliterating the spider behind him.
Now it's Dorian.
Hey, Darian. Care to
Okay,
join the
so
fray?
don't think I can actually.
You can stand in that doorway if you want.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so I'll take out my rapier because I already have a lantern in one hand, and I'll try to hit that spider.
AC 10.
Okay. Oh.
Holy crap, guys! My spiders don't have a chance. All right, so you nailed this one. What are you hitting him with?
Turns out I don't have any rapiers. I only have my short sword and daggers.
Well,
That's weird.
you still nail him square in the head with his rapier or with your short sword, and take out a good chunk of it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hit a good chunk of his leg, part of his abdomen, but he's still kind of staggering around, but he's still alive at this point.
Since he's adjacent to someone, I'm going to sneak attack him too. So that's 1d6 extra.
All right, roll it.
Maybe 2d6?
I think it is 2d6.
I think he's right. I think it is.
Sweet. Only 6 damage extra.
My poor little spiders don't even get a chance to really freaking attack. So yeah, go ahead and describe your death kill on this one with the sneak attack. It obviously did him in.
Well, I guess when it was preoccupied by watching its friend die, I came up from behind and just stabbed him in the eye. Let's go with that.
Stabbed him in one of his many eyes.
Great. Yeah. No, I stabbed him in all of his eyes.
Evidently. Alright, so now I got my one measly little spider left to do attack, and he's obviously going to go with the nearest one, so Corin here. That's this spider. So 18. 18 hit.
Yep. Yeah.
Take 3 points of damage from a bite. And need to roll me a dex save. 11 or higher.
Dex.
Alright, so as this spider comes at you and he sinks his fangs into you, you also see he simultaneously tends to like spit out his spider webbing from his abdomen, like he's trying to entangle you at the same time, but the webbing goes wide and it just gets stuck to the floor.
Alright. I yell at it, foul creature! Perish! And I swipe at it with my katana and beat with my fist.
Critical.
Good spider.
Oh yeah, he's like done. Well, hold on. Why did you go again?
I have 2
Oh,
attacks.
I'm sorry, my fault. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, you drop him. There's nothing left of this little dude. However, as
I uppercut his face and then just slash all his legs off.
you need to make me another dex save. Sorry, I'm not used to this push to talk, guys. Need to make another dex save.
Got it.
Alright, so as you pummel this thing, and it basically drops to the floor, its abdomen explodes, and a bunch of webbing kind of squirts out all over the room, but somehow you've managed to step aside and avoid getting tangled in its web.
Phew.
Alright.
Seeing these dead spiders, I kind of ask everybody be skilled with harvesting animal parts.
Now, Ohalis asked you guys specifically for intact spider sac eggs.
Oh no, yeah. I'm asking if anyone, because I'm trying to get at if we can harvest the venom, if they have any.
Ruby knows a lot about nature itself, but she just reads books about it, so she's not really a survivalist. She would be able to identify if they have, like, poison, perhaps, but not necessarily how to collect it very well.
Alright, so let me know what you guys want to do. You want to investigate whether they They have poison. You want to see if you can extract it. What do you guys want to do here?
Well, I think first we need to figure out if they have some kind of poison gland or anything like that.
I'll let you guys roll either investigation or nature check to see if you can determine that.
Ruby's proficient in both, so I'll just roll nature. Ruby has a 20 on the nature check.
Yeah, I'm just checking all four kinds right now. I'm pretty sure all of them do. But I just want to make sure before I say that. Nope, not all of them are poison. Alright, so this one here was poisonous, and the one that he killed that was over here was poisonous. This one that had the red on the back of it is not poisonous.
So you just see Ruby kind of narrow her eyes a bit, and she kind of pulls out some reference materials just to verify, but she kind of quickly points out which ones are poisonous and which ones are not. She doesn't seem too worried by what these particular creatures are. They don't seem very powerful, but if someone really wanted to, they could definitely extract some poison from them if they had the proper tools and training.
Roland changes his sword to a dagger and tries to carve out the, basically is trying to do his best to carve out the poison glands without puncturing them.
Alright, so if you're going to try this, there is going to be a possibility of you getting poisoned as you're doing this. I'm just being totally out of character and upfront.
Ruby's totally not staying near him when he does this, by the way.
I like if it pops on me, like the poison itself would like burn my skin or something.
You don't know till you try.
Hopefully you're good at survival, right?
Alright, so that's your attempt to cut out the poison sac with a dagger?
Yeah.
Alright, so as you start kind of rooting inside this spider, not really sure where exactly you're trying to cut something, your knife penetrates the poison sac, and you see it kind of start dripping to the floor, and you get a drop of it on your finger. Roll me a dex save. Okay, you manage to be able to pull your hand back the last second before the poison lands on your actual hand. And you see it kind of somewhat sizzle as it hits the stone floor.
It's like, well, watch that one up. I don't know if anyone wants to try the other one.
Ruby kind of just like smiles at the failure, and she says, well, I'm not an assassin, so I don't know how to do that stuff.
Just a question. Are we all level 3 or 4? What's going on with that?
It's a mix.
Yeah, Darren, I think you're level 3, and the rest of the group is level 4.
Oh. Oh, I don't have a poisoner's kit. Otherwise, I'd try to help you guys.
Alright, note to self, pick one of those up next time you're in town, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so what are you guys doing next here?
I'll try to cover out the other one then if no one else wants to.
Okay, same thing.
Roland would feel a sense of shame if he let anything go to waste.
Ooh, that's really bad.
Nope. So, dex save?
Yeah, you're rooting around inside there again, and before you even start to put the knife in there, you actually break it open with your hand. So roll me another dex save at disadvantage.
13.
13 was the number you needed. Again, you're able to pull your hand away at the last second because you notice as you penetrate something, it almost feels like it's some kind of a sack that you shouldn't have your hand in. You pull your hand at the last minute, and again, more of the poison just kind of pours out onto the floor and sizzles the ground below you.
Well, I tried. Let's move on.
Man, I was really hoping to put some kind of damage on you guys this round. Jeez.
Didn't he take like
You
2
got a
damage?
little bit on me.
Well, you took 2 temporary damage.
Oh, yeah.
You did 3 damage to me, man.
Did we do anything with the egg sacs?
They're
They're
all
broken,
open.
right?
Yeah, all those egg sacs were either broken or empty. They were in here.
Roland ventures forth.
Alright, so as you start peering into this room, let me pull this up here. You can see along this wall to the right. Okay, I'll go and open up some more then. You can see all along one wall. There's some coffins, covered up coffins, and a series of tombstones across the floor in here. Looks like this is like a underground cemetery, for lack of better terms, in here. You can see mounds, old, some newer mounds in front of all these tombstones along here. Along the back wall, you can see what appears to be some kind of tombs with doors along them. These things you see here along the back wall. Come on, I'll get my pointer back. 1 second. Along the back wall here, these are actually like handles to these large stone doors.
Is that kind of like something similar to like in a morgue when they kind of pull it out?
Sort of, but
Or the actual
sort of,
doors?
it's like one big door. It's almost like a regular sized door you would walk through, but slightly bigger.
Oh, okay. So it's actual door then.
Correct.
Okay. Also, is there a doorway around here leading down here? Because we can't see anything.
1 second, I'll open that up some more.
I just want to make sure that this room isn't isolated.
Yeah, you can see there's another hallway or something kind of going off to the left. This room does continue on further to the west, but you just can't see that far.
Okay. I ask everybody else, you want to open these doors, or you want to continue on?
We can open one door. Just be on guard. Ruby will stand next to whatever door Roland wants to open, and she'll take a defensive stance just in case something pops out at her.
We'll try this one.
Okay, the one in the corner.
Yeah.
All right, so as you grab the doorknob, you can tell it's a large door. It's made of stone. It's going to take some oomph to kind of to get it open. So if you want to try to open it, you need to give me a strength check.
Ruby will give him advantage, trying to help him yank it open.
No need.
And before we go further, I'll make sure that so Darian, you still have a lantern, and Ruby, you don't have any light.
She's just in the dark, I guess.
Well, she can see a little bit there.
Correct.
I'm just saying, if you open that door, she probably won't be able to see inside there.
Well, that's okay. She's mainly just trying to protect Roland more than anything.
That's funny. I rolled a crit success and then a crit fail.
Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. Hold on a second, let me pull up this sheet here. 1 second. All right, so you managed to budge the door open, slide it open about 4 or 5 inches, and let me reveal this in here. And you see standing in the corner what appears to be well, it's someone obviously deceased, but they're kind of almost like sit up against the wall in a standing position. Looks like a former knight or guard or some kind of type of a noble type of warrior. Deceased, obviously.
Seeing that, it's just I would assume it's just kind of some kind of tomb. Then I would immediately just start trying to close the door again.
All right, so as you start to close the door, you see this man's eyes kind of open up. Sorry, my pointer back. And he takes a step forward. And roll initiative.
So it immediately comes out. I mean, I don't get a chance to close the door on him.
You can try, but it's still initiative.
It's probably too heavy to close quickly. But as he moves forward, Ruby would try to jump in between the zombie guy and Roland.
All right, sorry, I didn't push it off. I said, yeah, you can try to do a strength save, but yeah, what they were saying, that door is too heavy for you to shut it quickly. Did you guys roll initiative?
Yeah, I'll roll initiative.
Rolling. Oh, good. Last again.
Make sure you clear the initiative off before you have us roll again.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to get my guy ready.
Alright, well there you go. Oh, well. Just cleared us all again. But, okay.
Alright, I don't understand that, because I just cleared out the old ones. Alright, let's stop. Let me clear out it completely.
When I rolled mine, it updated the thing. It changed my number to my new number, which was 12.
Alright, I'll update it once you put it back in there.
Is there a way to manually put it in?
I should be able to override.
Yeah, if you get the... Yeah, you can click on each token and then just click on, or I think you can either right click or just click on the token to say add turn. And then you can type in the number.
You read 12? Okay, Quarren, Darian, did you guys already roll? I cleared it out. Sorry, I'm just talking without pushing the button. Quarren, Darian, what did you guys have?
Had an
I had
8.
10.
Who had a 10?
Corn.
Darian, what'd you have?
8.
Alright, that's fun and exciting. Look at this crappy DM. Alright, so Roland, you're up first. What do you want to do?
Well, I tried to close the door. I don't know if that's going to count still.
What'd you roll for it?
18.
Yeah, that's good, but not good enough to shut it all the way. I say that's a heavy stone door. You need a 20 to shut it all the way back in his face.
Well, it's actually impossible for me to roll 20. Even with the crit, I rolled a 19.
Alright.
So that means it's not possible for me to close the door?
Not fast enough for to put him back in, because again, it's a heavy door.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so is that like my action to try and close the
No,
door,
that's fine. I'll still
or...
let you have an attack. That's cool.
Okay, then I'll just kind of swipe at him. No.
That misses.
Can I still move and all that?
You'll get an opportunity attack from him if you move away.
Ooh, that's right. So did I open the door all the way, or is it only
At
partially
this point, I'm
open?
going to say it's about 2 foot open. At this point, I'll say it's about 2 feet open.
Okay. I'm going to move out of the way to try and let other people be able to get in between me and him. No, actually, no. Never mind. You know, I got armor. Never mind.
If you're not going to
I'm just gonna
attack,
stay
you
there.
can take a disengage to avoid getting the opportunity attack.
No, I already did attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right, you did. My bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand there and hope people can squeeze their arm in and swipe in there.
Okay. So this will make your decision a little bit easier. because now the undead knight is going to basically blast that door out of the way and take a swing at you. 16?
Nope. I got 17 with mage armor.
Alright, so he comes down with his long sword, and you kind of see it coming and step to the side, and it kind of swings down and grips into the dirt right next to you. Undead monster kind of just looks at you growling at this point, if it can growl. Ruby, you're up. That door is wide open now.
Push to talk.
Oh. You basically see her recklessly rush in to help her ally from the assault from this giant beast of a skeleton knight. And with that, she's feeling a bit lucky, and she's gonna use her lucky feat and try to do a little bit better.
AC 15. Alright, that hits.
And basically what you see is it looks like she's about to miss, but at the last second she kind of slips, and as she slips, the rapier goes right up into the kneecap of this skeleton or zombie knight or whatever. And as the weapon strike hits him, you see her flinch her wrists and twist them as she tries to trip the knight. He needs to pass a DC 14 strength check or fall prone.
Strength. He fails, and he falls prone.
And he takes 5 more damage from the trip attack itself.
Alright, so you see this undead kind of take this blow, and it's almost staggers like he's trying to keep his balance, but then he does fall over, and you see him kind of, almost like one of his arms kind of like break in half as he falls to the ground, but he's still kind of squirming a little bit, like he's trying to get back up.
And with that, Ruby says, "Come on, guys, get in here and let's get up before we can get back up." And that's the end of her turn.
Alright, Quarren.
I can't get into the room, so I'll just move back here and try and shoot an arrow at the guy on the ground. I don't know if I'd be able to do that with Ruby in the way, though.
Did he attack from right here?
I'm going to say no, because that's kind of the direction the door is swinging.
Okay.
Alright, so is that your action, Quarren?
Can I attack her with can I attack him with an arrow with Ruby in the way?
I'm going to say he's got 3/4 cover if you do that. And if you roll badly, you will hit Ruby.
I'll just stick here then.
Alright, Darian, before you move or take an action, I need you to make a dex save.
Sure.
Alright, so as you get ready to move, you feel a hand kind of explode out of the ground and grab a hold of one of your ankles and basically trips you to fall you on the ground. You fall prone at this point, and you start seeing a skeleton kind of start working its way out from underneath one of these graves right underneath you. So you are prone at this point, and now you've got your action.
Okay. So getting up is half movement, right?
Correct.
Okay, so half movement. And then if I wanted to put my lantern on the ground, that's
Free action if you're just going to drop it.
free, right?
Yeah, free action if you're just going to drop it.
Okay. And then I can draw 2 weapons because of my feet.
Oh, you have the dual weapon feat?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it then.
And then I'll hit him with rapiers.
That's a miss.
I didn't roll yet.
Oh, I just saw the 10 dex. Sorry.
Oh, now we do. And they're probably both
Yes, they
misses.
both do miss. Yes. So this little skeleton comes crawling out of this grave, and you hop up pretty quickly and take 2 slashes at it, but you're obviously still kind of off balance from hopping up so quickly. And your short swords, is that what you said they were? No, rapiers. Your rapiers go wide.
I grabbed rapiers when we were at the knighting stuff.
Right. So both of your rapiers just kind of go wide. Can't seem to hit the target at this point.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay, Roland, before you move, you hear more rumbling in this next tomb next to you, and this door is getting pounded on at this point. You hear something on the other side of the door trying to get its way out. Now it's your turn.
Push to talk buttons.
Sorry, what happened to that guy?
You saw Ruby stab him in the knee and then knock him down on the ground as she kind of waits for you to stab him before he can recover.
Okay, so he's still alive.
Barely.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't see the edge of that health bar, so I wasn't sure if he was dead or not. Alright. Yeah, so I'm just gonna attack again.
Yeah, but
AC 15.
that's a hit.
No, AC 15. Oh, he's on the, yeah.
He has
Right.
advantage
Yep.
because I knocked the
Yep,
guy
sorry.
prone with my trip attack.
Alright, so that obviously just obliterates this guy.
So the 21 would hit. The 21 would hit the knock him prone.
You obliterate him. He's done. So go ahead if you want to describe your awesomeness to the group.
Yeah, I just basically, I don't do anything special. I just kind of slash at him and just kind of crack into his ribs and break his spine.
Alright, so at that, you see another one of these guys kind of break through, push the door open, and he's now another, almost just like the other one, is standing right next to you. And he takes a swing at you at this point. I'm assuming a 23 hits, right?
Yep, and he takes 10 cold damage after he does damage to me.
Okay, 3 points of slashing damage from his longsword.
Okay.
Alright, so a dumb DM question. Does that Armor of Agathis keep going over and over again?
Yeah, as long as I don't, as long as I have the temporary hit points, it will stay on.
Basically, once you do, is it 10 damage?
Yeah, it's 10 now.
Once you do 10 damage, the armor goes away. I don't know how much damage he's taken with the armor up.
So
took
far
a
I've taken
damage.
5, so I have 5 temporary HP left.
Yeah, the insects did 2 damage and this guy did 3 damage, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so next, this guy over next to Darian is now going to try to hit him back after Darian so awesomely swung and missed at him. And he rolls a natural 1. So this guy kind of lumbers forward with his short sword like he's trying to whack at you, and he just kind of swings out in the air, almost like he's trying to hit someone behind him. Okay, Ruby, you're up.
Oh.
Ruby sees that these guys are starting to come with more ferocity, and she even sees the creature hit her friend. And although he didn't seem hurt by the attack, Ruby will try to nonetheless protect her ally as she runs all the way around this guy and then just suddenly lunges at him again.
Alright, AC 15.
And you see her aim wildly and just kind of misses. She seems to overcompensate and just wildly guess where the creature's going to be at. And that's the end of her turn.
Alright, Quarren, you're up.
Corrin sees Darian alone down there, so he rushes to aid his ally. He lets out a punch and a slash.
AC 13. Alright, so obviously you miss with the first one. You come back around with if it's a foot or an elbow or your second little blow there, and you hit this guy square in the skull. And you hit him so hard that like half his skeleton kind of just breaks apart and goes flying across the room. He's still standing there, but he has like half a head left. Not even that. He's got like a quarter of a head left.
Okay.
Not even sure what part of the head is left.
I'm like, Darian, I'll save you. It seems weak. You can finish it.
My hero.
Alright, Darian.
Yeah. Gonna try to beat this thing. Then I'll go help my other party members.
AC 13.
Okay.
Got one.
Let's try that again. Woo!
Alright, so your
stabbed-
first swing with this rapier, you almost like forgot that his head is missing, and you stick the rapier out where his head should have been. There's nothing there, and you miss wildly. Then you almost like embarrassed by yourself, and you quickly recover, and you take your other rapier and you stick it into almost nothing there, but you send it hit him right in the spine, and the skeleton kind of just breaks into like two separate pieces and falls to the ground, and a big hump of crusted bones.
Nice.
Yeah, that was overkill. He had like 1 hit point left.
Alright, then I'll just move over here so I can help them.
That was total overkill. He had like 1 hit point left. Alright, so Roland, before you move again, second verse, same as the first. You hear over this other door over here some more rumbling like someone's out trying to get out of this door over here.
Alright, I call out to everybody. It says, like, looks like there's a knight in each of these. Be prepared for the door to burst open.
Ruby's already there, ready.
Alright, I slash at this guy with my Feyblade longsword.
Oh yeah, there's no question. You drop him there.
Can I run, like hop over his corpse and run over and try to hold the door closed?
Yeah, it'd be difficult terrain to go through the corpse and then through the same spot where Ruby is. But yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah, it's only 10 feet over.
Alright, so you're going to try to hold the door shut? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, well, you've already done your attack action, so you're holding the door.
You cut out at the end there.
You've already done your attack action, so I can't really give you another action to try to hold the door there. So you can get to that point, but you can't really take an action yet.
Okay.
Alright, so now you got your hand on the door. And this door starts to kind of creep open. It gets about a foot or two open before you can get a chance to get to it yourself. And you see a a sword just kind of flailing at nothing but through the opening there. So I'm going to give him an attack at disadvantage to see if he even hits you. Wow. He actually rolled pretty good. A 21.
With disadvantage,
I rolled a 19
yeah, that's
and
gonna
a
hit.
17 at disadvantage. And he's got a +4.
Yeah, that hits.
So that is 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay. So that would drop my armor to 0 on that hit. Does he still take damage? Let me check the spell.
I think so. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he would, but let me just read through it real quick. Yeah, it says if a creature hits you while you have these hit points, the creature takes cold damage.
Okay. I'll allow it, but I am going to rule that he takes half damage since he was just kind of swinging through an opening in the door. I'm going to say he had a little bit of coverage with that door, but so I'm going to cut that in half.
Guess that's 5 damage then.
Yep. So your frost kind of blasts the door and what's sticking out of the door so far of this undead-looking knight trying to get its way out of this thing. Takes a blast of cold on half of his body, and you can kind of see his hands are now kind of covered in frost with that sword that he just struck you with. Okay, Ruby, you're up.
Ruby will kind of try to walk past him and look through the opening and just kind of try to stab her rapier into that opening on the creature.
Alright, AC 15.
Sure.
Damn.
So you see her just kind of narrow her eyes as she spots the creature through the crack, and with one swift motion, she kind of just stabs the creature in the arm roughly, the rapier just digging deep into its body.
Yeah, it dug deep, all right.
And yeah, and then she quickly pulls it back out and prepares for the next attacker.
All right, so your rapier just kind of finds its mark and just totally obliterates this guy, and kind of his whole head goes flying back and kind of tumbles to the ground, and his entire body just kind of slumps to the ground, and he's not moving anymore.
Yeah, and after she kills him, you'll see her walk up in front of the next door, or at least a little bit away from the door, so that she can react to the door opening.
All right, that's an awesome spot to be. Corin, you can move now if you want.
I'll just run up by my good friend Ruby here.
This is awesome. Okay, so I need Darian, Corin, and Ruby all make dex saves. All right, so first Corin. Corin, as you make your way across there, you felt some kind of a little hand or something explode out of the ground and try to grab your ankle, but you're able to kind of jump out of the way and miss it completely. Same thing for Darren. When you made your run up there was also a hand that kind of stuck out to try to grab you as well, but you as well both kind of avoid it at the same time. It's almost like you guys crisscrossed over this thing at the same time. Ruby.
And with Ruby, she's feeling a little bit lucky, and she wants to try to re-roll again.
All right, you got three lucky
trying
ones,
to. Right? This is my second one. Yeah. She's trying to do a little bit better than that.
The luck of the Irish are upon you.
Ruby kind of accidentally trips a bit over the hand as it's coming out, but as she trips over it, she accidentally just steps on it and kind of dodges out of the way by sheer luck.
So you guys all moved. All right, we're back at the top of the order. Back at the top of the order now. You see two of these skeleton type / zombies. You're not sure what they are. Kind of crawl out from underneath the graves right here that you guys walked over and start lumbering towards you.
Alright, there's still that zombie knight trying to get out, right?
The one above Roland died.
Oh, did? Oh, okay. Alright, then I'm just gonna run up to the skeleton and attack it.
Alright, AC 13. Look at you getting it right on the nose. Slashing damage. Alright, so that obviously hits. Kind of lay into him with whatever you were hitting him with. What kind of weapon was it?
It's my Fey Blade longsword.
Okay, so slashing damage, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Bad guys are up. He takes your shot, and he sees you one... What's this guy armed with? A short sword. Wow, a whopping 4. And misses badly. The one in front of Ruby takes a swing with his long sword. 14. Does not hit.
No, not even close. She just easily dodges out of the way.
Hey, they're skeletons, undead, zombies. What do you expect? Alright, so they both miss miserably. And Ruby, you're up.
Ruby dodges out of the way, and then as she does so, you just see her immediately lunge back at the skeleton, trying to dig her sword into the toughest or thickest part of its body to cause the most damage.
And that misses.
And with that, you see her almost trip over the gravestone as she just horribly misses. Not quite sure what went wrong, as she seems to have trouble standing correctly.
Still tripping over that same headstone, I see.
All up on her.
Alright, Quarren, you're up.
Alright, seeing Ruby struggle, I take a swing. I'll actually just step up in between these guys and then swing at the one that she was attacking.
Those are both hits. And
So I twirl around with my sword and slash at it and then just like smack it with the back of my fist and its head.
so what kind of damage is it?
Bludgeoning for the fist and piercing for the sword.
So your first one, okay, I see it. Sorry, my fault.
No problem.
Alright, so you see your fist slam into it again, right into its what's left of its chest there. And you can see that your fists seem to be doing more damage than what you normally... Sorry, I'm talking without pushing the button. So you slam into the chest of this thing, and you see that your fist seems to be doing more damage than you even expected. I mean, your fist plunges into his chest and almost goes all the way through the back side of him. And you follow that up with a whack with your katana. And as you slash into him, you kind of, almost where your fist went through, your katana comes back there and almost cuts the guy in half. And you see him just kind of slump down into like a 90-degree corpse onto the ground. And he's pretty much out of it. He's dead.
I just quickly turn around and ready myself for the other foe.
Darren, you're up.
Alright. Someone's next to me, so I'll try hitting him with my... yeah.
Oh, sorry, I kept looking for Darian, not Alex. Alright, yeah, so both of those hit. And that's a total of... oh, plus your sneak attack damage, of course.
Yep.
Well, you didn't really need that because he was almost...
It did.
Alright, so you obviously obliterated it, so you killed it on your first shot, but you just kept on hacking at it again with the rest of your rapierness and your sneakiness or whatever, so feel free to go ahead and describe how you just killed this guy and kill him 2 more times.
You just see me rapidly poke 2 rapiers through him many times until he just falls down.
Ooh, actually, since you said that, so you didn't kill him on your first shot, but your second shot did. So as you were plunging your rapiers into him, you noticed that you weren't doing as much damage as you were expecting, as you have done in the past. So it was your second hit that actually did do him in.
Okay.
Alright, and that is it for initiative at this point.
Shall we try the other doors?
Ruby kind of smiles. Oh, I love just randomly assaulting the undead. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Alright, so what's that mean? What are you guys doing?
So yes or no?
It's up to you. Ruby doesn't care either way. She just wants to get moving.
We should continue.
Alrighty. Then Roland starts walking down over here.
Actually, in Jersey it's 12:15, so do you guys mind if we wrap this up right now?
Yeah, it's getting a bit late on my end also.
Alright, so whatever you guys want to do, I'm okay with that. There's a lot more to this dungeon. I tell you guys, you're not even halfway through all the encounters you've got in here. You guys just pick the when you guys first start.
Well, if 204 want to call it, then I'm fine with calling it here.
Yeah, you guys went through like the first half of the dungeon that didn't have squat. Now you guys are starting to get into the part where there actually is encounters. So you guys aren't even really like halfway through at this point. So you guys still got quite a bit of ways to go. But I'll leave it up to you guys.
I got work in the morning, so if it's okay with everyone else.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do, I don't care either way.
Alright, so I'll throw...
Yeah, I should probably
So
go.
let me throw this out here, guys.
I gotta
Let me
go.
throw this out here before you take off real quick. Are you guys open for doing another session next Friday to kind of finish doing this section? Or you guys want to wait the full 2 weeks again?
I can do it next week.
Yeah, I can do it next week also.
I can probably do it next week. That's fine.
Alright, so second subject I want to bring up, because this is not the first time we've had to leave early. Do you guys want to maybe move this up another hour? Would that be better for most of you guys, or worse? Or how's the time frame working?
That wouldn't work for me, because I'd probably just be getting off work at that point.
Yeah, so I figured out.
Yeah, I get off work 30 minutes after that time. So I pretty much have to like rush home in order to make it for the time we do play.
Okay, then we'll stick with the same time for now. Man, typically, I think I told you guys, I try to make these sessions after about 3 hours. I start trying to wrap it up, but it just depends on how far you guys are getting. But let's just plan on same time next week, and we'll try to wrap up at least this dungeon portion of it, and maybe a little bit more after that.
Okay. Okay, that's cool with me.
All right. So thanks, guys. As usual, give me some feedback.
Sounds good.
The forums. I know this one went kind of slow. I admit that. There are parts where I was kind of struggling with the order and the dynamics and everything. So I apologize for that. But just patient with me. It'll get better.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was a good session, I think.
I hope you guys all had.
pretty good.
I hope you guys all had fun. I know I was new to this game, but I tried to have some interactions there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. I'm glad you
Yeah,
joined us,
some
man.
good role playing. It's we have bits and pieces at a time, but there was some pretty good role playing sessions. So thanks, guys. I enjoyed it as well.
Alright, cool. I better take off, though. Have a good night, everybody.
Same. Good night.
Good night.
User disconnected from your channel. User